Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of All. And imagine if we could bring reference images into Blender. No, not like that. Proper reference images, all controlled within Blender. Well, you can, and it's free. So we just need to go to Edit, Preferences, Get Extensions, and start typing in Reference, and we want this Reference Overlays. We're going to click Install. Then importantly go to Add Ons and bring this up, and there's going to be a button that says Install Pillow. Click that. It allows you to paste things into your viewer, which makes this really handy. And then once you've done that, as it asks, restart Blender. So once you've done that and you've got Blender up, you will notice there is a slight difference, or you might notice there's a slight difference. In the top right hand corner, we have this reference overlays toggle button. And at the moment, turning these on and off is not doing anything because, well, we haven't got any reference images. So we come to this tab, click load images, and wherever you've got your options, let's say this, this, and this, you can click load references and then they appear. You'll notice that each one of them shows up here, so you can have a look at them. You can turn that off if you don't want that there and you just want the information below it. And you can click and drag these around, and while you're clicked down and dragging, you can scroll in and out with your mouse wheel to change the size of them. So say for example I was designing a robot leg, I could change the size of these, put them somewhere here so I can see them, and then I've got my reference images there. And importantly, as we move around, these reference images don't change location, which is great. Now there is a second way of bringing these in once you've got that pillow installed. If you've got something in the clipboard, for example, if I had this image of Ed 209, which has an awesome leg, I could go to my snipping tool and then maybe just grab a shot of that, or I could copy this in any other way. So let's just copy this to clipboard, come back to Blender, come here, and I can either click that paste reference there, or I can click here and press Ctrl Alt and V, and it will just appear, and then it's in my references. So we can again move this around. Now, we've got a few options to go through here in terms of what we can do with this. We'll talk about the options at the top first. The first and probably most important, I think, is, so say we've got an object here and I wanted to click this and I accidentally click here, I'm clicking on the image instead of the cube, which is annoying, and I might accidentally start moving that around. Well, if we click full lock, that stops that happening. So what we can do is have everything so that it can move around with our view, but if I click accidentally on it, it actually treats it like it's not there. So you'll notice I clicked the cube through it, and I can't accidentally select these and move them around without that off. Now we can also do that individually for certain objects. So for example, I've just locked this one but not this. So you can lock certain images and not others using this lock icon next to each of the images. You can also make each image visible or not visible should you want to. And then finally, if you want to click here, you can make all of them hide, or you can press Alt and Z to make them visible or not visible. Entirely up to you what you prefer. Sorry, I got distracted. Let's get back to these. We can show the tag name, which is the name of the file. So some of these might be useful. And let's just actually give some references to the people where I got this from. I don't know where this came from, sorry. But we've got the names here to give credit. And if you do know where this is from, do feel free to say in the comment section. I hope we all know where this one's from. And then you can also do things like put them all into grayscale just to make them a little bit less distracting, which is quite nice. Then we can bring that. We can have resize image, so it just brings them to a new size, or auto tweak size. I haven't worked out what those do that's different to each other. And then finally we have this fit view distance. Now this is an interesting one, because as we move around, you'll notice everything stays exactly the same, which is different to a reference image, which we might put into Blender using Shift A, and then we can come in and put in an image as a reference or a background. So if I did that, let's click on reference and brought in that Ed 209 image again, you'll notice that that moves around and it stays in a very specific place. I have to press G to move it. It can just get in the way. I really prefer this as a reference image. It's much nicer. So let's just get rid of that for a second. But there are reasons we might want to be able to zoom in and out and that affect these images. In fact, let's just come here. We're going to get rid of all these images. We can either do that one at a time here with that cross. We can do it here as well, and we can load a couple more images. We can also do that here, and that just creates a slot, and then you can click on that and it comes up with all of your past ones that you've had. So I'm just going to get rid of that. Let's click load image, and I'm going to go to my town, and I'm just going to select all of these and load these references. So let's just turn full lock off. We've got a map here, which might be of what this town is going to look like, and then some building references, which might be how I want these buildings to look. I would love it if there was a way of cropping this within Blender. That would be really cool as well. So I could just have these images that are to the left. So let's put our houses here, here, and we'll do another one here. And what I'm going to do is come up here and click this fit view distance. Now, annoyingly, that sort of resets everything actually. So let's just put those back to where I want them to be. But let's say we're doing this town, and what I want to do is when I'm zoomed in at this scale, so these might be my buildings, I want to be able to see my building references. But what I want to be able to do then is zoom out to somewhere where I'm looking at this from a map view, and then my map be here. So with this fit view distance turned on, here I can see my buildings and do the information on my buildings and all the detailing there. And then when I zoom out and have to deal with the map view, I can do that using my map. Let's make that even bigger actually, because we probably want to see that there. So this is quite handy to be able to sort of see certain images at different times. I'm not sure how useful that is compared to just turning these on and off in terms of their visibility at each point. Don't really know about that. But I can see some uses for that. Let's say I was doing a massive sci-fi spaceship. I might want to be able to see all those tiny little details there and then zoom out and see what the overall shape or design of the spaceship is there. So definitely some uses. There are a couple of other things that are cool here as well. Let's just get rid of that map view. For example, we've got some options down here which we can fiddle around with the size. You can also change the rotation of the image that you're on. Oh, maybe we can crop this. I hadn't noticed that crop option. Let's just come here. We want to crop from the right. So let's just change that. Oh, I was on the wrong image. Let's click that one. And yeah, that looks like it's going to do what I want it to do. I can actually crop this to the right. So I could change that to just being there. Oh, there's a limit on how far you can go. But either way, that sort of gets some stuff out of the way, so I quite like that there. You can also set images. Let's say we've got this one of the house, and I want to only see that when I'm in orthographic view, which is one of our side-on views. So it's not there now, but if I go onto a side-on view, it should be there. Oh, no, it tells you when you can see it. So for example, I could have it on all of them, and then whatever orthographic view I'm in, it will be there. Or you could turn it off on some of them. So for example, I might not want it on the left or right and only the front or back. So notice it's there, now it's not, there it's there. So some really handy options. And the final one is you can align these to where they are, or you can also change the opacity as well. So you might want this sort of semi-transparent, or you could just be like, no, I want that to the right, this one to be at the top, and I want this one to be at the bottom. So there are some nice little options. I don't know how useful those are. I think I'd rather just move them around and change the size with my mouse. But yeah, there we go. Lots of different options for what you might want to do. So I appreciate this might not be useful for everyone, especially if you've got like dual screens and things like that. But I love that this is a completely free option within Blender, compared to something like PureRef, which isn't inside Blender and you might have to pay for it depending on how you're using it. If you found that useful, please hit that like button, or tell me what the hype button does. Hit the hype button if this is really exciting to you. I really need to keep up with what affects the YouTube algorithm, but it's just really boring. But if you would hit the like button or comment to help me out, that'd be really appreciated. And if you do want to help the channel any more, there's a link in the description to the Patreon page, where for a few dollars you get these videos a week early, ad-free, and access to the channel Discord. Hope to see you in the next one, and have a great day.